Good morning! So, for today, yung Immunosero-Notes naman natin. Ano nakita niyo sa Immunosero-Notes? Sa number 2, yung differentiation ng mga T cell, B cell, and NK cell. T cell because they are formed in the thymus. Kaya T cell, na yung mga T cell are responsible for CMI, cell-mediated immunity. What are the different markers for T cell? CD2, CD3, and either CD4 or CD8. CD4 kapag T helper, CD8 pag T cytotoxic or T suppressor cell. B cell because they are produced by the bone marrow. Yung mga B cell are responsible for humoral immunity or humoral mediated immunity. Now, ano yung mga B cell marker? CD19, CD20, CD21. Another, we have the third population lymphocyte, the non-lymphocyte, or the NK cell. Bakit tinawag na lymphocyte? Because they lack markers found on T cell and B cell. Walang CD4, walang CD8, walang surface immunoglobulin. Now, how do we identify the NK cell? CD16 at saka CD56. Ano pa po nakita natin dito? Yung development ng T cell at saka B cell. Kung may papatandaan ako, huwag kakalimutan yung mga pre-B cell. Yung mga pre-B cell po ay merong mu chain in the cytoplasm. What are mu chain? These are heavy chain of IgM. Now, yung mature B cell, meron siyang IgM at saka IgD sa kanyang surface. So, pag tinanong tayo, what are the two immunoglobulins found on the surface of a mature B cell? IgM and IgD. Another, wag din sanang kakalimutan, sa number 3, yung comparison ng class 1 and class 2 HLE. Yung class 1 is present on all nucleated cell. What about yung class 2, B cell, at saka antigen presenting cell? Anong structure ng class 1 HLE? An alpha chain and beta-2 microglobulin. So, yung beta-2 microglobulin is an essential part of class 1 HLE. Yung class 2, an alpha chain and a beta chain. Between T cell and B cell, what cell type requires HLE recognition? Yung mga T cell, for a T cell to recognize an antigen, it should be complex with HLE. Cells that express class 1 HLE are presented to your CD8 positive cell. CD8 positive, ito yung mga T cytotoxic, T suppressor cell. At yung mga cell that express class 2 HLE are presented to our CD4 positive cell or the T helper cell. Sa number 4, ano pong nakita natin? Yung differentiation ng mga immunoglobulins. Pinakamabigat, ang macroglobulin is IgM. Pinakamarami sa plasma, IgG. Sa secretion, IgE. Huwag pong kakalimutan. What are the two immunoglobulins that can fix the complement by the classical pathway? IgG and IgM. Pero between the two, sino pong pinaka-the best dito? Yung IgM. Bakit? Because it has multiple binding site. And the only immunoglobulin that can cross the placenta, providing immunity to the newborn, is IgG. There are 3 pathways of complement activation: the classical, the alternative, and the lectin pathway. Of these 3 pathway, isa lang pong antibody-dependent, classical. The classical pathway is activated by antigen-antibody complex. Another, kung may papatandaan ako, huwag kakalimutan yung mga different complement components. Kung may papatandaan ako, huwag kakalimutan yung C4A, C3A, and C5A. Ano pong function nito? They function as an anaphylatoxin. Another, anong complement component that can act as an opsonine? C3B. So pag tinanong tayo, an activity associated with C3B, opsonization. What about in C5A? Ang C5A, it function both as an anaphylatoxin and chemotoxin at the same time. So pag tinanong po tayo, a complement component that can act as an opsonine, C3B, a complement component that can function as an anaphylatoxin and chemotoxin, huwag kakalimutan, C5A. Ang complement pag hindi na-control, pwedeng sirain even yung mga self-antigen. So, dapat ang complement po may mga regulators, katulad ng C1, inhibitor, factor I, factor H, C4 binding protein, and S protein or vitronectin. Kapag naman na-mention yung mga complement deficiencies, complement deficiency na pinaka-common is C2 deficiency, pinaka-severe, pinaka-serious, C3. Remember, yung C3, siya yung major complement component. C2 deficiency, most common, is associated with LE or lupus-like syndrome, recurrent infection, atherosclerosis. C3 deficiency, pinaka-serious, pinaka-severe, it is associated with severe recurrent infection, glomerulonephritis. Kung may papatandaan ako, deficiency of DEF, deaccelerating factor, and membrane inhibitor of reactive lysis, PNH. Mabilis ma-hemolyze yung mga red cell dito in PNH kasi walang regulator. Walang DEF, walang membrane inhibitor of reactive lysis. In PNH, negative for DEF or CD55, negative for membrane inhibitor of reactive lysis, CD59. Remember, definitive test for PNH is flow cytometry, negative CD55, negative CD59 in patients with PNH. We mentioned yung mga different types of graft, autograft, transfer of tissue within the same individual, isograft or syngraft, transfer of cells or tissue to a genetically identical individual, graft among identical twins, isograft or syngraft, allograft, graft, or transfer of cells or tissue to a genetically non-identical member of the same species, or encinograft, transfer of cells or tissues to a member of different species. So, the greater the difference, the greater the immune response. So, anong greater yung difference dito? Xenograft. Graft obtained from identical twins. Isograft, basis ng ating transplantation. Blood banking, allograft. Kapag na-mention ang mga different types of graft rejection, we have yung hyperacute, accelerated, acute, chronic type of graft rejection. Sa mga na-mention natin, anong pinakamabilis? Most accelerated type of graft rejection, hyperacute type of graft rejection occurring within minutes. Sa next page po, nakita po natin yung mga different patterns. Be sure ma-identify ito. Homogeneous, solid, or diffuse. It is associated with anti-DNP, deoxyribonucleoprotein. Now, patient with rheumatoid disorder will exhibit this type of staining pattern. Peripheral ring or membranous, it is associated with anti-double-stranded DNA. Remember, anti-double-stranded DNA is most specific antibody for SLE. So, patient with active stage of SLE will exhibit what type of staining pattern? Peripheral ring or membranous. Kaya naman po, huwag kakalimutan yung speckled or mottled pepper dot pattern. It is associated with anti-ENA, anti-extractable nuclear antigen. Ano po yung anti-ENA? Halimbawa po nito, we have yung anti-SMIT and anti-RNP. Anti-RNP for anti-ribonucleoprotein. Speckled or mottled pepper dot pattern, anti-extractable antibodies to the extractable nuclear antigen, we have anti-SMIT and anti-RNP. Yung anti-SMIT is considered as the marker antibody for SLE. Yung anti-RNP is positive in MCTD, mixed connective tissue disorder, rheumatoid arthritis, SLE. According to her, ano yung type of staining pattern that requires a follow-up test, speckled or mottled? Pag ito po yung staining pattern, hindi natatapos sa test ang activity natin. Kailangan yung malaman whether anti-SMIT or anti-RNP. So, dito po pwede po tayong gumawa ng Australian double diffusion para po natin malaman whether anti-SMIT or kaya anti-RNP. Pero, between anti-SMIT and anti-RNP, which one is more specific for SLE? Huwag kakalimutan. Between anti-SMIT, anti-RNP, mas specific si anti-SMIT. Pero, kung i-compare ang anti-SMIT at saka anti-double-stranded DNA, which one is more specific for SLE? Anti-double-stranded DNA. Nakatulog ako ng 1 minute. Next, we have yung nuclear staining pattern. So, may stain lang po yung nucleolus. An antibody directed to nuclear RNA, 50% patient with scleroderma will exhibit this type of staining pattern. Huwag pong kakalimutan. Another, we have yung anti-centromere antibody associated with what condition? CRES, calcinosis, Raynaud's phenomenon, esophageal motility abnormality, sclerodactyly, telangiectasia. Huwag pong kakalimutan. Ulit, anti-centromere antibody in CRES syndrome, calcinosis, Raynaud's phenomenon, esophageal motility abnormality, sclerodactyly, telangiectasia. What is the most specific antibody for SLE? Anti-double-stranded DNA. And for the specific test for anti-double-stranded DNA, anong substitutes? Huwag kakalimutan, cretigelucili. Sa number 10, na-mention po natin ang most specific antibody for SLE is anti-double-stranded DNA. In the specific test for anti-double-stranded DNA, pwede po tayong gumamit ng cretigelucili as substrate for the assay. Another, sobrang napakahalaga. Yung bukod sa SLE, ano pa yung mga different autoimmune disorders and the associated autoantibodies. Huwag kakalimutan pong rheumatoid arthritis. 2 criteria na po for diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis. Number 1, the demonstration of the rheumatoid factor and anti-CCP. Anti-CCP, anti-cyclic citrullinated peptide antibody. Now, between RF and anti-CCP, which one is more specific? For rheumatoid arthritis, anti-CCP. Myasthenia gravis, antibodies to the acetylcholine receptor, presence of acetylcholine receptor blocking antibodies, multiple sclerosis, dito po yung patient mo ay may anti-myelin antibodies, good pastures, anti-glomerular, basement membrane antibodies, primary biliary cirrhosis, anti-mitochondrial antibodies, chronic active hepatitis, anti-smooth muscle antibodies, Hashimoto's, huwag kakalimutan, yung Hashimoto's, siya po yung hypothyroid. Graves' disease naman, siya naman po yung hyperthyroid. Autoantibodies found in patient with Hashimoto's thyroiditis or anti-thyroglobulin and anti-microsomal antibodies. In Graves' disease, anti-TSH receptor antibodies. So, huwag kakalimutan. Another, ang palatandaan ko po dito nung student ako, NP. Ang partner ng N letter P, ang partner ng P letter N. Huwag kakalimutan, sensitivity referring sa true positive, specificity referring sa true negative. Sa pretest po natin, may problem po doon on sensitivity and specificity. So, huwag kakalimutan, pag sinabing sensitivity, proportion of people who have a specific disease or condition and have a positive test for that disease or condition, the true positive, specificity, proportion of disease or proportion of people who do not have the disease or condition and who have a negative test for that condition. Be sure, kabisado po natin yung mga formulas for computation of sensitivity, specificity, and the predictive values, the positive and the negative predictive values. Pag sinabi pong precipitation, reaction between soluble antigen and an antibody. So sa number 13 po na-mention, yung mga different types of precipitation reaction. Gayon din po sa number 14, yung mga different types of agglutination reaction. Pag sinabi namang agglutination, reaction between a cellular or particulate antigen with an antibody. Be sure ma-differentiate po natin ang passive from reverse passive agglutination. Pag sinabing passive at reverse passive agglutination, ito po yung type of agglutination na gumagamit ng carrier particle. Pag sinabing passive agglutination, yung carrier particle ay nakakoat with an antigen. Pag sinabing reverse passive naman, yung carrier nakakoat with an antibody. Passive agglutination, carrier particles are coated with an antigen. Therefore, agglutination will occur in the presence of the corresponding antibody. Pag sinabing reverse passive, yung carrier nakakoat with an antibody. Therefore, anong dinidetect ng reverse passive agglutination? Antigen. Inuulit ko po, pag passive, anong nakakoat sa carrier? Antigen. Pag reverse passive, anong nakakoat sa carrier particle? Antibody. So, under agglutination, be sure ma-differentiate natin ng passive, EEG test, the direct EEG test, and the indirect EEG test. Antiglobulin test or the Coombs test. The DAT test detects in vivo sensitization of the red cell. Indirect Coombs, the test will detect for in vitro sensitization of the red cell. Anong application ng DAT test? Investigation of hemolytic transfusion reaction, diagnosis of HDN, diagnosis of autoimmune hemolytic anemia. Remember, ito yung test that will help us differentiate autoimmune hemolytic anemia from hereditary spherocytosis. In autoimmune hemolytic anemia, the DAT test is positive, and investigation of drug-induced hemolytic anemia. In direct Coombs, the test will detect for in vitro sensitization of the red cell. Anong application ito? Antibody detection, antibody identification, cross-matching, red cell antigen phenotyping. Anong halimbawa po nito? Yung TU test. Test for the weekly antigen is an example of what type of test in direct Coombs. Nga po pala pag sa harmony, kapag nakita yung acronym na CC, ano pong ibig sabihin nito? Check or cum cells. Kapag negative po yung DET, dapat nating i-confirm. Sa negative tube, magaan po tayo ng check cells or cum cells. For a test to be valid, yung check or cum cells po, dapat meron pong agglutination. Kabaliktaran po nito yung sa RH control. Yung RH control naman po, for a valid test, dapat walang agglutination. So, inuulit ko, pag add po nito sa negative tube, for our test to be valid, dapat may agglutination. Pag walang agglutination, invalid, false negative. So, ano pong maaaring result ng invalid test or false negative AEG test? Una po, failure to add the AEG reagent, failure to add the antiglobulin reagent to react, maaaring yung EEG reagent ay na-neutralize or na-inactivate and insufficient washing. So, wala daw agglutination with CUMS or check cell, so invalid. So, maaaring hindi na-add ang EEG reagent, maaaring na inactivate or na-neutralize ang EEG reagent, or maaaring insufficient washing. Yung mga unbound globulins kasi can neutralize the EEG reagent resulting to a false negative test. So, mali po yung sagot na hindi na-add yung serum. So, tatlo po yung sagot dapat doon. Hindi na-add ang EEG reagent, na-inactivate ang EEG reagent, or insufficient washing. Ano po yung mga halimbawa ng mga labeled immunoassay, enzyme immunoassay, RIA, fluorescent immunoassay? Another sa number 17, na-mention natin yung mga different tests for syphilis. We have the direct test at saka yung mga serotest. Yung mga serotest for syphilis can be grouped into two. We have the treponemal and the non-treponemal test. The non-treponemal test detect for what substance in patient serum reagent. The treponemal test are specific tests for syphilis because they detect for treponemal antibodies. Huwag kakalimutan. Ang VDRL po, between VDRL and RPR, ano pong pwedeng gamitin dito sa CSF? VDRL test lang. Hindi po pwede yung RPR. So, pag tinanong po tayo, may CSF at may RPR test, pwede ba yun? Hindi. Kasi sa RPR, serum man sa sample. VDRL, pwedeng serum, pwedeng CSF. Pero sa RPR, hindi pwedeng CSF. Same page pa rin po, number 18, na-mention din po yung mga different markers for hepatitis. Unang-una po, huwag kakalimutan yung acute and previous HEPA A, acute or active HEPA A, IgM anti-HEPA A antibody. Previous or past HEPA A infection, IgG antibodies. Yung mga different markers for HEPA B, katulad ng HBs antigen, first marker of HEPA B. Marker of high infectivity, high vertical transmission risk, HBe antigen. Marker of recovery, anti-HBe. At huwag kakalimutan, marker, lifelong marker of HEPA B virus infection, anti-HBC, IgG antibody. And another, past infection, immunization, anti-HBs. First marker, HBs antigen. Marker of high infectivity, HBe antigen. First antibody, marker detected during the window period, IgM anti-HBC. The lifelong marker of HEPA B virus infection, anti-HBC IgG antibody. Recovery, favorable prognosis, anti-HBe, past infection immunization, anti-HBs. Another, chronic HEPA B virus infection, In chronic Hep B virus infection, dito po yung patient mo may IgG anti-Hep B core antibody, pero hindi po siya nagpo-produce ng anti-HBs. Kasi yung mga chronic Hep B virus B, yung mga patient with cases of chronic Hep B, hindi po sila nag-develop ng immunity to Hep B. So, although may anti-HBC, walang formation ng anti-HBs in chronic Hep B virus infection. Another yung mga different markers for Hep C, Hep D, and Hep E. Ito po, favorite ko po to. Yung sa HIV. For, pag tinanong po tayo, first marker to appear in HIV infection, palagi ko baka yung iba sasagot ng P24 or first antibody anti-P24, pero pag nandun po yung viral RNA, ito po yung first marker to be detected. So, pag given po yung P24 at viral RNA, HIV RNA, ano po ang sagot natin dito? Viral RNA. For HIV antibodies, alam na alam po natin to, first antibody to appear in HIV infection. Inuulit ko, ang first marker is viral RNA. First antibody is antibody to P24. Standard screening test for HIV antibodies, ELISA. Noong araw po, ganito po ang ginagawa. Kapag positive ang ELISA test, repeat ELISA. 2 or 3 repeated ELISA bago mag-perform ng confirmatory. Inuulit ko, 2 or 3 repeated ELISA bago yung confirmatory. So, pag tinanong tayo, positive ELISA test, what to do next? Repeat ELISA. Repeat ELISA, 2 or 3 repeated ELISA bago yung confirmatory. For ELISA test, we have the first generation ELISA. Anong dinidetect nito? Anti-HIV1. Second generation ELISA, anti-HIV1 and 2. Third generation ELISA, anti-HIV1 and 2. At sasabihin kung anong antibody class. Fourth generation ELISA, anti-HIV1, anti-HIV2, and protein 24. Noong araw, standard confirmatory test for HIV antibody, the Western blot test. Nung araw po ito ngayon po kasi hindi na po ito yung standard confirmatory test for HIV antibody. Pero wag pa rin pong kakalimutan yung criteria of a positive Western blot test. 2 out of a possible 3 antibody bands. So antibody band to protein 24, GP41, GP120 or 160. So at least 2 out of these 3 bands or this possible band. Paano kapag wala po nito or walang band? The test is considered negative. Paano kung isa lang po sa mga given yung naibigay, like for example, antibody to P24, indeterminate. Pag indeterminate, anong gagawin natin? Repeat Western blot. Paano pagka-repeat nyo, indeterminate pa rin po? I-repeat after few weeks. Iniisip po natin dito, baka early infection kaya antibody to protein 24 lang yung na-detect. Pero after few weeks, indeterminate pa rin po, report as false positive. Ulit pag walang band negative, positive, at least 2 out of a possible 3 bands. Antibody band to P24, GP41, GP120, or 160. Dalawa lang po out of, at least 2 out of these 3. Paano pag isa lang po dito? Indeterminate. Pag indeterminate, repeat Western blot. Paano pagka-repeat isang band pa rin po or indeterminate? Repeat after few weeks. Iniisip po kasi natin at first, baka early infection. But after few weeks, indeterminate pa rin. Ako, false positive na po yun. Anong problem with Western blot? Medyo matagal ang result. 7 to 21 days. So, ang problem po dito na delay yung treatment ng ating patient. So, ngayon, yung CDC recommended algorithm for diagnosis of HIV, a screening test with a fourth-generation ELISA and a rapid test that will help us differentiate HIV-1 and HIV-2 antibodies. Noong araw po, ang standard confirmatory was Western blot, pero ngayon hindi na po. Kasi nga matagal yung result, 7 to 21 days. According to the OH natin. So ngayon, ang confirmatory, a rapid test that will help us differentiate between HIV-1 and 2 antibody. Ulit, initial, fourth generation ELISA, CDC recommended confirmatory, ngayon, a rapid test that will help us differentiate between HIV-1 and HIV-2 antibodies. Ang HIV infection, kailan siya tinatawag na AIDS? When the CD4 positive cell count is less than 200 per microliter. Remember, ang normal value po nito is from 500 to 1,300 per microliter. Ang CD4 positive cell count can be used to stage and monitor HIV. To monitor then HIV, aside from the CD4 positive cell count, we have the viral load test. It is used to predict the disease prognosis, determine when to start antiretroviral therapy, and to monitor the patient's response to therapy. Yung mga tumor markers, huwag kakalimutan, estrogen receptor, CA15-3, HER2, these are markers for breast cancer. CA19.9, it is a marker for pancreatic cancer. So pag tinanong tayo, a patient with pancreatic cancer, cancer antigen 19.9, calcitonin is a marker for thyroid carcinoma. Benzone's protein, a marker for multiple myeloma. HCG is a marker for choriocarcinoma. Alpha-fetoprotein is a marker for hepatocellular carcinoma. Now, for diagnosis of testicular cancer, germ cell tumor, we have HCG and alpha-fetoprotein. CA125 is a marker for ovarian cancer, and PSA, a marker for prostatic cancer. For PSA, anong reference range po nito? 0 to 4 nanogram per ml. So, after removal of the prostate, dapat ang PSA 0 because after removal of the prostate, tapos, let's see, after a month, over 4 nanograms pa rin, so that is an indication of a possible recurrence. So, after removal of the prostate, tapos ang value nito is over 4 nanograms. So that is an indication of a possible recurrence. Kung may papatandaan po ako, CA19.9 is a marker for pancreatic cancer, PSA is a marker for prostatic carcinoma. Ang reference range po is 0 to 4 nanograms per ml. Yung 4 nanograms, ito po yung ginagamit na cut-off value. So, after removal of the prostate, dapat ang value nito is 0. What if mataas pa rin? So, that is an indication of a possible recurrence. Kung may papatanda din ako, huwag kakalimutan yung mga different amplification technique. We have in target amplification technique, signal amplification technique, probe amplification technique. PCR is an example of a target amplification technique. Branch-chain DNA, hybrid capture assay, signal amplification technique, and ligation reaction probe amplification technique. So PCR is an example of a target amplification technique. Branching DNA hybrid capture assay is an example of a signal amplification technique. Ligation reaction is an example of a probe amplification technique. PCR, kung may papatandaan po ko, huwag kakalimutan yung enzyme used for PCR, tag polymerase. What are the 3 steps in PCR? Ang palatandaan po namin dito dahil denaturation, annealing, and extension. Huwag kakalimutan yung mga temperatures for denaturation, 94 degrees Celsius, for annealing, 50 to 58 degrees Celsius, for elongation or extension, 72 degrees Celsius. Pag tinanong po tayo, ano yung primary error in amplification technique? Huwag kakalimutan, contamination. Primary error for amplification technique, huwag pong kakalimutan, contamination. Hanggang dito po muna ang ating discussion. Next po yung BB. Salamat.